Arcade Heroes.
Hi, welcome to Arcade Heroes. Today I'm going to talk about arcade flyers. Now, arcade flyers is the primary method that the industry has used to market their products to people like me that own arcades to buy them. And that's been the case since 1972 when Pong came out and Atari put some flyers together, and there was flyers before that with electromechanical games, pinball games, things like that. Now, these days, you still have new flyers. As you can see here on the wall that's behind my front desk, I like to keep a collection of flyers as artwork. Now, a lot of the times they're not as cheesy as they used to be. In the 80s, I'd say Konami was the king of cheese when it came to arcade flyers, and these days nobody goes full Konami, so to speak. But still, even though they're all business now, there's still a lot of interesting flyers, so take a look at some modern ones. I've been collecting flyers since 2008 when I started attending trade shows, and what I'm going to show you here today is what I picked up from my IAAPA 2014. And if anybody wants to, I can always do more videos showing more of the flyers that I have, since I have piles and piles of them. So let's get to it. Alright, so let's take a look at this folder here I got from my IAAPA. My apologies in advance for the noise from the arcade here, as I have some people playing. So I've got some catalogs on this side and flyer brochures on the other side. We'll take a quick look at the catalogs first. This one's by Simuline, a South Korean company. They have the new Valkyrie 4D 8-player shooting theater game. With the Project Hades zombie shooter that we talked about around that time. They also have the 4D Theatron, just information about the seats and all that. The X-Rider, which they've had for a few years. Oh yeah, there was their new Kitty Ride video game, Turbo Tunes, Mini Rider 3D, and just some general corporate stuff there. Unis had a pretty large catalog. Actually, I should go this way. And so these guys are based out of China, but they've been making some pretty strong moves into the US market. A bunch of redemption content there that we've talked about on the blog before. Some others that we may not have mentioned that are more redemption-centric. Video games are buried in here somewhere. Yes, Armed Resistance. This was one of my favorites from the show. Never really seen anything like it in several years for the arcade industry. But from what I've been hearing through the grapevine, it hasn't been testing too well. I think it just needed a few adjustments, like the turn radius and more maps, to be a really, really good game. This one they've done promotion on, but I still haven't seen it. They didn't bring it to the show. I haven't seen it at any trade shows. Sounds like they're not sure if it's going to come out, or maybe we'll see it at Amusement Expo. I don't know. Their After Dark game, which is kind of like Van Helsing meets Dead Storm Pirates. There's videos of it on my YouTube channel. A bunch of raw thrills product that they sell in certain regions of the world. These two games here, Iron Heart, that's like Raising Storm, and Metal Force, which is a tank game. I've not seen these in person. They were not at IAAPA. As far as I'm aware, they're only available for sale in China. And then they just have stuff for kiddie rides and things of that nature. That's Unis. Here's Game Plan by Betson and Raw Thrills. So first they promote some games we've heard and seen before. Batman, Barrel of Monkeys. Jurassic Park Arcade, of course, was the first appearance of that game at IAAPA. Since that time, the cabinets have changed from what you see here. Big Buck HD, they didn't promote the Big Buck HD Wild update, which I do have at my arcade on test, but I'm not allowed to really show much about it yet. And Fishbowl Frenzy, which has apparently been doing so well on the market that they're somewhere around 12 to 1,500 units back ordered, which I've not really heard of that. Personally, I may not get what it's supposed to be about, but I'm not into redemption, so don't really care that much. Let's see, Neon FM. This one we talked about before. Hand-controlled rhythm game that was first shown at Amusement Expo last year in Las Vegas. The IAPA appearance was the more official manufactured version, and so pretty good flyer that they have here. Nice cardstock. This one, didn't have video of this on my YouTube channel, but this is a 360-degree motion simulator that could spin you upside down. My brain just wouldn't handle that as far as nausea goes, so I didn't give it a shot, but I watched others try it. It looked very interesting, looked fun. It is interactive too, I have joysticks there, and yeah, just technical info. They also had flyers for this, but they didn't have it set up, so I guess this is just to promote their Dark Ride film content. But as far as I know, this company, B&K, Eastern European company, is trying to get into the US. They just haven't finalized anything. Got this from a massive photo booth. This thing was the size of a wall. It was just a huge display, probably 150 to 200 inches in size, and it would run the program with this paparazzi-like photographer telling you to do poses and stuff. There's myself, Kevin Williams, from the Stinger Report. Pretty cool, definitely stopped people in their tracks. This one by this VR 4D by Mediumation. This was the first chance I had to play with Oculus Rift. It did make me a bit nauseated because you had the seat moving around in addition to looking around with the VR headset on your brain. But it was still interesting to see. Pump It Up Prime 2015. Lots to talk about this one. They had a pretty nice snazzy flyer for it, all glossy. Talked about some of the new additions that make Prime different from other Pump It Up units, such as now in partial HD, not full HD. New interface, the cabinet designs. I've been hearing there's supposed to be a new cabinet design for it, but personally I think this looks fine as it is. Faceplace photo booths. Open up brochure to promote those. This was their main one at IAPA that they were promoting, the Photo Stud. Let's see, Kitty Dido by Enjoy Motion Corporation, based out of Taiwan. So video kitty ride. Also, they had this brochure for their Allied Tank Attack game. Most of the focus was on that for the single and twin versions, and then some of their other games that they still manufactured. Unusual flyer, just given the length. And then down to our last two, aside from the pinball machines, is Showdown by Sega. This is one of the most elaborate flyers I've seen Sega do. Of course, this is to promote the Super Deluxe or Special Attraction version of Showdown, which is to replace Outrun 2 units. No longer has the curved screens there. Gets into the modes and all that stuff. I shared this on Arcade Heroes a while back. The different cars, where the inspiration came from. And last but not least, Star Wars Battle Pod by Bandai Namco Amusements America. So this is also, in addition to the Showdown flyer, one of the most elaborate, nice, luxurious flyers I've seen in the arcade industry while I've been involved in it. Also very glossy, seems laminated, but you surround yourself in the high-speed battle to promote the dome screen there. And opening up, get a nice look at the cabinet, the cinematic dome screen, strategies for winning, noting that it's not got anything from the prequels that everyone hates, and technical features. So very, very nice flyer between this and the Showdown. And then, right before I end on that note, Here are two flyers that I also got at IAPA 2014, both pinball related. The Medieval Madness remake. Otherwise, the flyer, I believe, is very similar to the original one. There's some stuff on the back about the features. And the Hobbit Smaug Gold Special Edition. It's a mouthful. To promote that one, which both of these games still have not been released as the time of filming here. So hopefully that changes soon. Alright, well that's a look at some of those flyers that I have out of the probably hundreds. I'm not sure, I haven't counted them all. But if you want to see more of them, comment below and see what I can do to put that together. Thanks for watching.